and welcome to the Burger and Badass Show. We are back again, like we are every Wednesday night, to talk a little bit about sports. And man, that song right there pumps you up. And we get to talk about something that kind of pumped me up a little bit. Super Bowl 51.
And then we should just get right down to brass tacks. Because the people already know, but you just got to get our take on it. Because we all saw what the fuck happened. And my God.
I'm still in shock. I can't believe it. Like, I know, like, me and you were sitting there at halftime, and I kept saying to you, can I call Adam? You're like, no, wait.
You better not.
Then it got to be 28-9 in the third quarter, and I was like, man, we got this. You know, it's 28-9 going to the fourth quarter.
What I tell you?
He said, not yet. I said, oh, come on. I think it's in the bag.
What'd I say?
He said, hold off, because something's going to happen. And sure enough, we saw what happened.
Are you finally ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it real quick.
He's deflecting already.
I'm deflecting already. You know me. What did I say all week? What have I been saying all week, badass?
Oh, he's been denying the fact that, well, you know what? We'll get into what happened because everything that we're about to talk about, this man here is denying even happened.
So, Super Bowl 51 is in the books, and I have to say, it was probably one of the best Super Bowls I've seen in the past couple, years.
Oh, that's without a doubt one of the best Super Bowls I've ever seen. Are you kidding me?
The New England Patriots came from behind from 25 points to defeat the Atlanta Falcons 34-31 in overtime to win their fifth Super Bowl, tying them with San Francisco 49ers and Dallas Cowboys and putting them one behind the Pittsburgh Steelers for the most Super Bowls. And yes, I'm going to say it. As much as I don't want to say it, I'm going to say it. Yes, you're going to hear it from me right here, right out of my mouth.
Do it.
Brady and Belichick are the greatest of all time as a quarterback-coach combination.
Oh, did you just say that Tom Brady was the GOAT?
I did say Tom Brady was the GOAT.
Did you just say Tom Brady was the GOAT?
Tom Brady is the GOAT, yes.
You know what? I got a bone to pick. Yeah, I got a bone to pick with somebody else who everybody is calling the greatest of all time. Yeah, somebody who won a little game yesterday right by the hair of his chinny chin. Yeah, someone who everybody's calling the GOAT. Well, you know what happens when you steal Chris Jericho's nickname? You know what happens when you call yourself the greatest of all time and you're not me? You know what happens? Tom Brady, you just made the list.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Tom Brady has made Chris Jericho's list. I love that. That was from this past Monday Night Raw. I watched it and I laughed my ass off when he did that. Because I was like, that's a perfect clip that I could use for the show.
And they paid homage. It was their way of saying, hey, man, we recognize what just happened. I mean, people, Tom Brady just won his fifth Super Bowl ring, and he did it by coming down the field time and time again from 25 points down and did most of it in the fourth quarter to force an overtime. Now, I already know that I'm going to hear about Deflategate. I'm going to hear about them recording the Rams practices. I'm going to hear about Belichick's an asshole. They're all a bunch of dirty fucking cheaters. Listen, I get it. I do. But above all that, it doesn't really matter what you think because the narrative has been changed because the man is now going down in history, whether you like it or not, with 5 Super Bowl rings. And he did the last one was quite possibly his best one. I mean, what the hell else do you want from the man? Yeah, you know what? Here, let's listen to the actual game. We got clips here of all the moments that when they were tied 28-28 in overtime, they just kept making catches. But it's just like, when you listen to it, you're like, my God, it was meant to happen. There was no way. Like, if Atlanta had 10 more shots at stopping them on that drive, they wouldn't have fucking did it not once.
Tiptoe, Deion Jones on the stop. Sideline. What a throw, Amendola on the reception. One of the best in the game. Brady. Pass is caught. Hogan. Brady down the gut. Pass is caught. Julian Edelman. Fake it to Hogan. Flip it to White. Looking for blocks. Getting blocks. Inside the 20. Out of bounds at the 15. On first down. Here's Bennett. Flag is thrown. Again. Toss to White. He's in. Patriots win the Super Bowl. Brady has his 5th. What a comeback.
I want you to understand that man hit 4 different receivers going down the field, hit Hogan twice, almost hit Bennett in the end zone, and then handed it off to White, who plowed in. I mean, that it was like it was meant to be. There was just no stopping them. It was like the Clemson drive at the end, where in the heart of hearts, all Clemson fans knew we're going to win the game. Just like Tom Brady knew, I'm going to win this game. Unfucking real.
I mean, it is unreal. You know, and watching this game, there was a couple questionable calls. A pass interference, I call it pass interference questionable. And now there's evidence that I'm seeing online now that the guy's knee was down before the ball even crossed the plane. So technically it should be 3rd and 1 from the goal. And I mean, there was a possibility Atlanta could have stopped him and kicked the field goal, but I doubt it. I mean, the way they were going down that field, they weren't going to stop him. But, you know, I'm just saying, I'm calling conspiracy theory on a lot of shit. I mean, come on. You're on about 25. Atlanta comes out and, I mean, just absolutely just blows the doors out on them in the first half. 21-3 at halftime. And then in the third quarter, pretty much maintained and had a 28-9 lead going into the fourth quarter. And somehow, miraculously, and I'm telling you, I don't know if, like, the fix was in. I don't know. This is why I watch college football and not NFL football as much, because there's not that crookedness to it. But as far as I'm concerned, you're down by that many points going into the fourth quarter, and somehow you miraculously come back and have certain things happen in this game. The fumble that happened, that they got the ball and went down and scored a touchdown on right after that. I mean, it was just little shit like that you're just like, what the hell happened to that sharp offense and that sharp defense from Atlanta? I mean, it blows my mind. And that's why I'm kind of like, you know, like the year that Peyton Manning was going out, he won the Super Bowl. The year that Ray Lewis went, they were up by a shit ton. And then that whole lights out thing happened. And then the 49ers came back and almost won that game. So, I mean, you know, it kind of makes you wonder a little bit about the shadiness going on in the NFL right now. And I don't put it past Goodell. I mean, he may seem like a good person, but he does what's best for business. And, you know, in the words of Stephanie McMahon, he does what's best for business. And, you know, I think there's some crookedness going on. And that's all I got to say about that.
I understand, but I'm going to stick with a motto that my granddad taught me a long time ago. And it's shoulda, woulda, coulda, never did get it done. And at the end of the day, you know, it comes down to the fact that Tom Brady is in fact the man. So, I mean, he's got 5 Super Bowls. Belichick's got 5 Super Bowls. Everyone hates him. Everyone wants to be him. So we got to give him a tribute, bro. Yeah, you can tell everybody. You know what, Adam? You can go ahead and start talking shit. We got to take it, because, I mean, fuck, your boy won. Ain't nothing we can do about it. It happened. It is what it is. They are the fucking man. You are a Banff. What else you want?
He called me today, actually, while I was at work.
Oh, I bet he did.
I said, hey, can I call you back? I'm at work right now.
Oh, he's probably like, fuck no, I'm going to talk some shit. Like,
no, he let me go.
That's, you know what? He's a good man. I wouldn't have. I'd have been like, hell no, I'm talking some shit.
Oh, no. When I get on the phone with him, oh, yeah. He's going to pile that shit on. It's going to be like a half hour, 45 minutes of just bullshit, goat, best. and I'm gonna have to listen to it. And I can't say anything. I mean, I can't argue with it. Now, I do want to say this: Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, but he's not the greatest player of all time. Because there is two people that actually, one person has one more than him, and one is tied with him.
You know what? This should be a trivia question for all of our people out there. Without using Google, I would like you guys to phone in and let us know what two players have 5 rings and 6. One player who has tied Tom Brady for rings, an actual player, and then there is another player who did play and has 6. Granted, 2 of his 6 came as he was personnel for the same team in which he won all of his rings with. So the fact that he played football and won 4, I accredit his other 2 because he is, in fact, a football player. In fact, none of you motherfuckers would dare go walk up to him even in his age right now. If the man is he still alive?
He's still alive.
Okay, well, this man, even now, at his age, you would not say shit to him about, oh, you don't got 6 rings. You know you wouldn't. You're a little bitch. So, you want to go ahead and tell him the answer since I know none of them now?
All right, the answer is...
Who's got 5, Burger?
Who's got 5?
Who's got 5?
The guy I know very well. The man, Charles Haley. He's got 5. He won them with San Francisco and Dallas back in the late 80s, early 90s. And at number 6, we have the man, the myth.
Who's got 6, Burger?
The legend from Pittsburgh. No, I'm just playing. From Pittsburgh, Mean Joe Green.
And we did, in fact, look this up because we wanted to confirm, and it's true. They do have that many, but as far as Burger's argument is that Tom Brady's not the GOAT because these guys have more rings, but let's be real here. 5-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, bro. He's the GOAT. And you know what's really sickening? He might win another one before it's done. Could you imagine 6-time? He'd be the Ric Flair of fucking football. Would you like to have that comparison?
No.
He's the nature boy, dude. He's got it all. He's got the money, the looks, the woman. He's the quarterback of the best fucking team. He's America's most hated team with the Super Bowl. I mean, he's pretty much Ric Flair of football. He's the fucking nature boy.
Well, not to correct you or anything, but Brady have to win a lot more Super Bowls to reach Ric Flair.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I know Ric Flair's got like 29 fucking million time title.
He's 16-time world champion. Woo! The nature boy, Ric Flair. And of course, you know, John Cena just tied him a couple weeks ago at the Royal Rumble. So
yeah, but I'm sorry. I will never hold John Cena in the same regards as Ric Flair.
But he's done a lot for the sport.
I'm not even going to argue that. It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. So let's get back a little bit on what happened during the game, or some of the stats from the game. We had New England's Tom Brady threw for 466 yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, while James White rushed for 29 yards and 2 touchdowns and had 110 yards receiving with a touchdown. New England had 546 total yards, 2 turnovers, and we're at 50% on third down conversion.
So that's for New England, correct?
Yes.
So what about Atlanta?
Well, Atlanta's Matt Ryan threw for 284 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Dante Freeman was held to 75 yards rushing with 1 touchdown, and Julio Jones was held to just 87 yards receiving. Atlanta only had 344 total yards, 1 big turnover that ended up costing them points, and this is horrible, a 12.5% third down conversion. 12.5%. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, all Atlanta had to do was run the ball a couple times, kick a field goal, and they would have won the game. That's all they had to do.
I'm not going to lie, man. It's to all my football players out there from Atlanta. I know y'all are in hiding. I know damn well you're not out in public right now because I wouldn't want to show my face neither after that. And you just guys got gassed. Grady Jarrett, Clemson, I heard you, boy. 3 sacks. You tied a Super Bowl record. You were playing But when it counted the most, y'all ran out of gas. And honestly, I couldn't blame y'all if you wanted to hide. I'm serious. Like, I'm in a hole right now if I'm one of those players. If I'm Matt Ryan, I'm ordering Domino's and Chinese takeout to my house. I'm getting fat, probably watching a lot of Netflix, and just wondering what could have been. You know, I'm definitely not out and about trying to be like, hey, I'm having a good time. Everywhere you go, everyone's gonna be like, man, you fucking suck. I mean, and what are you gonna say? You can't say shit, dude. You let them come back from all them points down to win the game. And all you had to do in the end result of everything, when you look back on how it transpired, all you had to have done is scored a fucking touchdown and you would have won. They wouldn't have had enough time to come back for that extra one. That's what the overtime was for. All you have to do is fucking score. And you couldn't. And then on the other end of the side of the game, all you had to do was stop them. And you fucking couldn't do that either. And it's just like, Atlanta, you're fucking cursed. I don't know what else to tell you. You're fucking cursed. Your fucking Hawks suck. Fucking Braves suck. The Braves really fucking suck. You know, Atlanta Falcons, you got there, and then you just really took a shit. So, I'm sorry, guys, but Georgia's on my mind, too. But not in the way you think. Sorry, guys. Y'all suck ass.
You know, I bet you we got to put our boy in Delaware, Malcolm. We got to put him on suicide watch.
Oh, no, we got to put him in his place. Malcolm, if you out there, don't get all fucking shitty with me, but here's the deal, bro. You talk mad shit. I know you talk mad shit. You have forever talked mad shit, and it's cool.
I mean, remember when I told you, I called you. I'm like, hey, you know a guy named Malcolm? And you were like, yeah. I went to school with him. And I was like, yeah, well, I work with him now. And he's talking mad shit on Atlanta being undefeated that one year. Not this year, the year before.
Right.
When they started off undefeated and looked like they were just going to run the table. And all of a sudden, they hit that streak.
The wheels fell off the bus.
Oh, yeah. Fell off the bus. And I don't think they made the playoffs that year. I think they missed the playoffs that year. And I know Malcolm, he was talking all that shit, and then he had nothing to say. Nothing. But Malcolm, I'm telling you, dude.
This is where you learn humility. Stop talking shit.
I would just not talk any kind of shit. Just be a man, admit you guys blew that game. Move on and try to come back and do it again next year. That's all I can say.
But yeah, for real, talk shit next year, because that's always next year to talk. But listen, I would pump the brakes on that right now, because damn, I ain't got nothing else to say about that.
So let's kind of wrap up this Super Bowl talk a little bit. There were a lot of firsts this year for the Super Bowl. Of course, Tom Brady and Belichick both getting 5 Super Bowls, most by player and coach. And then we had the first time the team was down by 5 points and came back and won a game. And then we also had the first ever overtime in Super Bowl. And you would think all the Super Bowls, 51 Super Bowls, there's been no overtimes.
And that one was the first.
And that was the first.
Hey, there's a first for everything, my friend.
I could have swore there was overtime back in the day, but I guess not.
No, there wasn't.
I mean, I know some of San Francisco's games, I know there were several ones that were blowouts, like 49-10, 55-10, like blowouts. And then I know they had that one against Cincinnati early in the day where it was really close.
Yeah, but that was the first legitimate overtime. Usually, it's already pretty well determined, and that's the thing. It was looking like it was pretty well determined in that game too, but you done heard what happened.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, because we've talked enough Super Bowl now. So football season's officially over now. We got a little bit. We'll have a spring game coming up here soon.
We got combine,
draft coming up. And then before you know it, guess what? Football season will be here.
But for right now, since football is technically over until we start talking combine and draft, we are going to start shifting a lot of our focus toward college basketball.
Yes, we are.
Especially because we are gearing up for madness. Don't you fucking think for a second we're not.
Oh, that show right there is going to be a show in itself.
These motherfuckers don't know.
Like, we're going to go through the whole bracket doing our picks of who we think's going to win. And we're going to keep track of it, and we're going to keep coming back each week and talk about it. That show right there, we're going to have to do just as a one show. No, nothing else in the show. just us doing the brackets.
I'm good with this. It's
then
literally
after-
going to be Bracket Wednesday.
But then after that, we'll do how we did in that week, and then we'll pick up some of the big stories like we always do.
Very true.
We'll keep doing these big stories and stuff like that also until March Madness. So anything else that breaks, between now and then, we'll definitely be reporting on it.
Correct.
So let's go ahead and move on to some other NFL news. And I'm happy. I'm happier than a pig in shit.
Oh, I already know what's coming. It's a long time coming, isn't it?
It's a very long time ago. I mean, it should have happened last year, but you know what? For some reason, San Francisco wanted to give him another year, but Colin Kaepernick has announced this week that he's going to opt out on his one-year deal and become a free agent in March. And I am so happy. Yes, he did great things with Harbaugh, but how much of that was Harbaugh and how much was that Kaepernick?
I think a lot of that was Harbaugh and a little bit of it was Kaepernick. Obviously, he's out there on the field playing it, but let's make no mistake here. Look what happened when there was no Harbaugh. That's right.
Exactly. He went from being a starter
To
to
shit.
second to playing maybe half a season to now opting out of contract.
And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say this and go on record for this one. You are entitled to your opinion. You are an American just like me, just like Berger, just like everyone we know. You do have the right to an opinion. What you do not have the right to do is act like a fucking asshole and insult our intelligence when we pay good money and we have good time invested into watching your games. Alright? Because without us watching the TV, you're not getting paid as much. So you need to fucking understand that before you pop off at the fucking mouth telling us people how to think about social and political issues. Play football and shut the fuck up.
And look, we didn't even vote this year.
You know what? That makes it even worse. Just that's why I can't stand that motherfucker. So exactly. Nah. Hey. Get the fuck out.
But good news for San Francisco is also announced this week, right after the Super Bowl, Atlanta's offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, will be joining the 49ers as the head coach, which now is bringing out rumors that several different quarterbacks could be making a entrance into San Francisco.
I've been hearing Deshaun. I've been hearing Deshaun.
Oh, don't tease me with a
Dude,
good time.
no, listen, they're projecting him in the draft. Everyone's saying that because Kyle Shanahan really likes the spread system and he really likes a quarterback who understands the knowledge of that system. Everyone's saying, this is what I'm hearing, he is chomping at the fucking bit to get into that draft because he wants Deshaun because he knows the fucking potential's there. Because he knows football. Don't forget, this man comes from fucking legendary football stock. I know his pa didn't do a really good job on the back end of his career, but make no mistake, the Shanahan family is a fucking football family. Don't get it twisted.
I mean, look what his dad did.
Right.
His dad's a legend as a coach. But, I mean, you know me, dude. I'm going to lose my shit when we're sitting there watching the draft of Beasts. We're doing our show, and we're talking, and they say, with the number 2 pick, the San Francisco 49ers take quarterback from Clemson, Deshaun Watson. I'm going to lose my shit right there in the bar.
Are you going to buy a jersey when it's available?
Oh, yeah. I'll be buying a jersey the next day.
He's like, the shit's going to be pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered. Coming in within 2 days. I'm going to have it. San Francisco, Watson.
And you know what's even better, bro? If I can get my connections to come through in the Clemson world, once you get his San Francisco jersey, I may even be able through my contacts, because you know I have my jersey with all the signatures on it. You've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty beast.
You've actually given me a lot of stuff over the years, too.
With signatures.
Yeah.
And check this out. I'm going to see if it comes true. I'm going to see if I can't get Deshaun to sign it himself. Because I can call... Listen, I got a lot of people I can call in some favors. Yeah, there's something y'all don't know about Badass here. That's why they call me Badass. This isn't just a fucking name, people. I am a certified badass. If you don't believe me, just ask my counterpart here.
It's true. It's true. But if you wonder what that noise was, guys, that was me just jizzing in my pants.
He can't help himself, but I'm serious. I'll get that thing signed for you.
Dude, that'd be so awesome. You know what I'd love to do?
He'll be at the spring game, too.
Oh, I'd love to meet him. Or take a
You just
picture.
might.
Because I'm telling you right now, I'll wear San Francisco stuff to them, and I'll have something there to sign. I'll have them sign or take a picture with them with my 49er gear on or something like that. Oh, yeah. Definitely, it's going to happen.
We're going to get down there early this year.
Oh, early. Definitely. We're going to do a show, right?
Hey, if the powers that be don't mind, I'm with it.
But real quick, just to finish up about this quarterbacks being talked about being brought in, we had names such as Matt Schaub, Kirk Cousin, and New England's backup quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo as possible entrances coming in, maybe starting off, competing with Deshaun if they take Deshaun in the draft. I have heard rumors that they were talking about the guy from North Carolina too, but
Mitch Trubisky?
The
Trisket.
The Trisket, yeah. I don't want to see it happen. I want to see Deshaun become a 49er. I'm telling you, it would make my day if I saw that happen.
To all 32 NFL teams. I know what you're thinking. Yes, you have smarter people than me on your payroll thinking about this. Do not sleep on Deshaun. How many fucking times does this man have to just shove it in your fucking face until you just understand that he is greatness embodied? I'm telling you, if you need a quarterback, except actually, correction, 31 NFL teams. Cleveland, you're in a fucking hole by yourself. You go sit in the fucking corner while the adults talk. Go sit down at the kiddie table. You're definitely not. You don't put your filthy fucking brown, orange, ugly ass fucking fingers on Deshaun. I swear to God.
He's already adamantly put out there he does not want to go to Cleveland. Like, he got to the point where I think the guy that is the head coach for Cleveland runs the senior game. He won't go play in it because of that.
Listen, I don't care what has to happen. Deshaun cannot go there. That is where football players go to not have a career.
Look how many quarterbacks have gone through in the last 8 years,
and they never have the same coach. It's just that place is pure hell. Nothing ever gets done. In fact, a lot of good players have been churned out of there because look at a lot of the people that were on the teams that played in the Super Bowl this year came from Cleveland. So it does have good players, but the team itself is poison. The franchise is poison. It's just nothing is ever going to be accomplished at that shithole. I'm sorry, Cleveland fans, shit on that. I don't care what you think. You got two other good teams in town that are kicking ass. Go watch them because your fucking turd nuggets on Sunday ain't getting shit done.
Yep, that's about it. I can't really say much more than that.
And that's
that. So moving on, in other NFL news, former Atlanta Falcon player, Philadelphia Eagle, New York Jet, and Pittsburgh Steeler, Michael Vick has decided to call it a career and retire from football after 13 years of playing. Man, that's just inappropriate.
Am I not sensitive? I'm sorry.
I would say too soon, but it's never too soon.
No, I don't think it's too soon. I'm an asshole. I'm not going to make no bones about it. And I'm going to really piss off some people here because, listen, what he did was fucked up, all right? But he didn't do it to humans. Granted, he did it to dogs, and that's terrible. And he got what he deserved, all right? The man lost a lot of his money. All of his people deserted him. He went to fucking prison. So y'all can get off his nuts now. The man has served his goddamn penance. He served it. He served his time to society for his crimes. He did what he did. Y'all can let it the fuck go. And y'all can just stop being a bunch of assholes about it because he didn't fucking serial kill human beings. There was no listen, Dante fucking Stallworth got drunk and ran a motherfucker over and killed him. And they're just like, oh, it's cool. But
cool,
fucking,
bro.
But Michael Vick runs a fucking dog fighting ring and kills some dogs, and everyone's like, "Oh my fucking god, burn him at the fucking stake." I mean, dude, people, listen, I love animals too. All right, I got animals, and they are my animals, man. I will defend them and protect them and everything. But listen, you cannot be serious when you say that animal lives have more weight and value than a human life, my friend. You're fucking out of your mind. You're insane. Fuck that. I'm sorry. You're fucking insane. Did they find a bunch of buried dead human beings on his property when they arrested him, Berger?
No.
They didn't?
No.
So hold on. There was lots of gambling going on. There's lots of illicit activity, but they never found a dead body on his property.
No. Not a human body.
No dead human bodies.
No.
Okay.
A couple dead dogs.
Did he get in the car and drunk drive and hit and kill someone?
No.
Hold on, but he did go to prison for his crimes.
Yes, he did go to prison.
Well, son of a bitch, I'll be damned.
But you know what? It's the way society is. You're going to hate Michael Vick from now till the day he dies. And that's sad to say, but nobody's ever going to give him a fair shake.
And you know what's bullshit is that I actually see the fact that the man did change. Because let me tell you something. After he got out of jail and he had to file bankruptcy and he had nothing, and the NFL took him back and he was willing to do whatever it took to get enough money to pay his debts and to give some money to his family, guess what? He did it. And he hasn't fucked up since. In fact, you've heard nothing, him doing nothing illegal. That man probably doesn't even fucking jaywalk. You've heard nothing. So obviously he did what? Changed. He actually rehabilitated. Maybe quite possibly that shit worked. You never fucking know. Maybe the proof is in the pudding. Have you heard about him doing anything illegal since?
No.
Not even a fucking fart of illegal.
Not even a speeding ticket.
Right.
He's actually been a good citizen.
A model fucking citizen.
He actually goes out and does charity work now and all that. So, I mean, he has changed. And, I mean, granted, what he did was horrible, but he did his time. He did his penance. And guess what? He came out a different person, went back, played a few years of playing football. Didn't have the greatest, career after he came back, but you know what? By then he was, a lot older than what he was before he stopped playing.
Up and played.
But he still stood up and played. Even when he was a backup in Pittsburgh. He stood up, a couple times he had to throw him in there. Because, Ben went down or somebody got hurt or something. They need him to go in there and do something. Or they just throw him in sometimes just to throw him in to kind of throw off the other defense.
Because they're like, oh shit, Vixen, what the hell are they doing?
Exactly. Is he going to throw the ball? Is he going to run the ball? He can still do that at his age.
Exactly. I mean, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, how many times does somebody got to serve before you finally just give them some slack? I mean, I want y'all to understand something. What if this was your family member that was really close to you that did all this shit and was real hated, receiving death threats, and they went to prison, lost all their money, lost their prestige, lost their ass, and then they come out on the other end of it changed and a better person, but everybody else still fucking hates you and wants you to die. I want you to understand something, man. Live that life before you go fucking just hating on somebody for that shit, because I'm sorry, where I come from, if somebody fucking does their time for their crime, that's it. It's the end of it. That's why it's called fucking doing your time. It's what you owe.
So looking at some of Vick's accomplishments, Vick in his career threw for 22,464 yards, rushed for 6,109 yards, had 133 touchdowns with 88 interceptions and a QB rating of 80.5. And that's not bad.
I mean, he won't make the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's actually a question I was going to ask at the end. Do you think he'll ever make the Hall of Fame?
No, Michael Vick will not make the Hall of Fame. The only reason he would is for his notoriety for what he did outside of football. For what he did in football, he will not make the Super Bowl. No. Well, hold on, he won't make the Hall of Fame. Excuse me, I said Super Bowl. I mean, he did do that once, didn't he?
Yeah, he did do that once.
And it wasn't good.
No.
So exactly. He went to one, he got his ass clobbered in it. He never made it back, and he had a mediocre career after prison. So, no, he don't make the Hall of Fame. But, in everybody else's minds, he's like one of those players that everyone was electrified by, especially when he was at Virginia Tech.
Oh, yeah, I remember his days at Virginia Tech.
He killed people.
And then his brother came in.
How much you want to bet that he'd give the world to be able to go back to when he was playing at Virginia Tech?
Oh, yeah. I think you get to the point in your career where you call it a career and you say, what was the best time I had during my whole career? And you'll probably say Virginia Tech was close the first couple years of him playing in the NFL.
Or growing up in the Hamptons in Virginia and playing high school ball there, one of the two.
Yeah, definitely add that in there too.
He definitely wouldn't choose this whole path that he went down, because I guarantee, I know, when you get done thinking about shit over a long enough period, you're like, damn, I would not have done that way. And I know that he has to think about that, but you know what? Maybe he don't. maybe that's the key to his success. You never can tell.
Now, Vic, who is known for his quick ability to take off and run and his arm ability to chunk the shit out of the ball, is a 4-time Pro Bowler and holds the record for most rushing yards by a quarterback in a season with 1,039 yards, and all-time rusher as a quarterback with 6,109 yards.
I mean, those two numbers are high, but that's just not enough.
No, he doesn't.
But he had a great career. Like when he was with the Dirty Birds at Atlanta, man, it was fun to watch. You saw Vic jerseys every fucking where.
I still see Vic jerseys going around, Atlanta Vic jerseys.
Right?
My question is if back in the day if he was with Atlanta and he won a couple Super Bowls, let's say he won 2 Super Bowls while he was with Atlanta, and then all that shit happens, does he make the Pro Bowl then?
The Pro Bowl? Yeah.
Or not, I'm sorry, not Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame. So now you got me talking about, you're saying Super Bowl, I'm saying Pro Bowl, but no, the Hall of Fame. If he won 2 championships with Atlanta back in the day with the Dirty Birds,
Before all the prison
stuff, and then he had that prison shit happen, and then he came back and had a kind of mediocre career. But winning those 2 championships, does he make it?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it like this. His career, if the position that you're posing, the whole scenario, if you take the prison out of it, you've got the same career as Eli Manning. Does Eli Manning make it?
Yeah, Eli Manning makes it. Yeah.
So if Vic had 2 Super Bowls, went to prison, had a mediocre career, I mean, yeah, he gets in. Literally, the only thing different from him and Eli's career would be the prison time.
And the fact that he probably rushes more than Eli.
I mean, think about it. Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowls, but if you actually wanted to consider him for Hall of Fame, there's going to be people that are like, fuck no. And there's going to be people like, are you crazy? He won 2 Super Bowls. You're going to be like, fuck no. And then people are going to be like, well, Peyton got in with 2, but his stats are way higher. Listen, he's going in.
Oh, yeah, it's only a matter of time. Same as Brady.
Right.
Belichick.
Listen, they're going in first ballot. Everyone will suck their dick all the way to the podium. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I know.
It'll be a walt fest the whole way.
Oh, yeah. So, speaking of Hall of Fame, the NFL also announced this week the 7 members who are going to go into this year's Hall of Fame class. And actually, it's a pretty good class this year. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. You have kicker Morton Anderson, is a legend in football. The kicker.
He's the foot.
The foot. You have running back Terrell Davis, who did big things in Denver. You have safety Kenny Easley. Owner and GM Jerry Jones. Defensive end Jason Taylor. Running back LaDainian Tomlinson. And quarterback Kurt Warner. And they will officially be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton on August 5th.
That's a damn fine class. There's no arguing any of those. I mean, if you really look up their careers, every single one of them, you cannot argue against the fact that they're in. You just can't. No.
Any of them.
No. They all deserve to be there.
Now, I do want to talk a little bit about snubs. Who made the snub list?
Who made the snub list?
This year we had safety Brian Dawkins, wide receiver Isaac Bruce, wide receiver Terrell Owens, who, I don't know if you saw this or not, badass, but he was all over social media talking about, I'm going in this year. This is my year. Terrell Owens can make it to the Hall of Fame. And then they show a shot of him crying when he gets the announcement that he's not going to make it into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, and so he ran his mouth.
As usual.
He cried.
As usual.
And then he got snubbed.
As usual.
That's called just desserts, bitch.
It's called karma, and karma's a bitch.
That's why you don't run your mouth before you get in. All right, listen, if you're a farmer, you don't run off the market talking about all the corn that you're about to have, do you?
No.
If you're the man in your certain area, you don't go talking about having the best shit unless you've got what?
The best shit.
And it's got to be where? On you.
On you, yeah.
You cannot put the fucking cart before the horse.
You can't.
So, I hope you learned a valuable lesson in all this. I hope you understand that maybe sometimes you just need to shut that goddamn mouth.
You know Terrell is never going to shut his fucking mouth.
Oh, no. Hell no.
He's going to run his mouth till the day he dies. He'll be on life support. He'll pull the ventilator thing off his face and still talk shit.
Pigs will fly and shit will turn to gold before he ever stops running his mouth.
And you know my opinion on Terrell Owens. We talked about this earlier in the week. You know my opinion. He was the destruction of the 49ers dynasty. Because as soon as he started doing his shit in San Francisco and running his mouth and acting like a fucking idiot, all of a sudden Steve Young doesn't want to come back. He retires. Mariucci leaves, goes to Detroit. Then Terrell goes, oh, guess what? I don't have anybody else here, so guess what? I'm out. Peace. And leaves.
And that was the beginning of the end.
And that was the beginning of the end. That was when we went through our bad years.
And I want everyone out there to remember this. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. Every team he was on literally got rid of him at one point or the other, despite his talent, despite the fact that you could throw him the ball and he'd catch it and he'd score, despite the fact that he's got Hall of Fame numbers. What team ever really wanted to keep him around?
Nobody.
And what team let me guess. San Francisco, what'd they do with him?
Got rid of him.
What did Philadelphia do with him?
Got rid of him. Dallas.
What did Dallas do with him?
Got rid of him.
Huh. So everywhere you go, you're a fucking distraction and you're a locker room cancer. But you want to get into the Hall of Fame. And you want to be in there amongst the fucking greats. Sit the fuck down.
Some other big names that got snubbed this year was cornerback Ty Law, wide receiver Torrey Holt, running back Edgar James, coach Jimmy Johnson, my boy Jimmy.
I don't know how you snubbed Jimmy. I mean, I guess Jerry's got to go in first. You can't have Jerry and Jimmy because Jerry's fucking ego is far too massive for it.
Yes.
So you got to let you just see you knew it. So you got to let Jimmy in next year because they probably even said, well, we're going to have you and Jerry next to each other. And Jimmy was probably, no, the hell you're not.
Fuck that. I don't want to stand next to that motherfucker.
And they probably asked Jerry, and Jerry probably said no. And you know Jerry, when he says no, people listen because, well, he's fucking Jerry Jones.
And this is another one you're probably going to get mad at, too. Wide receiver Hines Ward.
No, I could see Hines getting in next year.
I mean,
he didn't deserve to be in over anybody on that list.
I mean, you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on that snub list from this year. And I can see all 8 of them making it into it next year.
This is true.
Maybe make Terrell wait one more year.
Honestly, I would. I'd make him sweat.
Make him like bitch and moan for another whole year.
I mean, listen, maybe if you show a little bit of humility, maybe, just maybe, they'll let you in. I don't know. Just saying.
I mean, he does, like you said, he does have the stats to make it in. I think they're just playing with him now.
That dude.
So, also announced for Hall of Fame, on Monday night, the WWE announced that joining Kurt Angle in this year's Hall of Fame is none other than the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. The Rock and Roll Express has held tag team titles in several different organizations during the 80s and 90s. And I mean, I remember growing up watching these guys wrestle, and they were amazing. Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express.
See, that's more of my dad's era, because my dad loves, if you talk that shit with him, he'll be sitting there for 30 minutes talking about the matches, and then he'll start talking about Marty Jannetty, and you'll hear a bunch of damn names.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's before my time. I won't lie, people. I'm an Attitude Era man. That is when I cared, and when it started kind of going, I quit watching. I'm an Attitude Era man, but if you ask all the true wrestling fanatics what the greatest time in wrestling was, they're going to tell you 80s, 90s, into the early 2000s. That's the golden fucking era of wrestling.
Now, this is going to sound weird, but I started in the 80s, because I remember watching WrestleMania 1 and 2. You know, I remember going over to my dad's friend's house and watching it, and watching Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant. I remember watching that. So I grew up during, watching the 80s wrestling. But I do say the Attitude Era was probably the best, then the 80s, then the early 2000s, and then the shit now that's on there. I mean, I'm not saying the product is bad. There's a lot of good wrestlers out there, but the storylines are kind of eh. and I'm just not really impressed.
It's not as like it used to be. No.
I mean, they're trying to do this brand split with Raw and SmackDown, where you have Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley running Raw, and you have Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon running SmackDown, and their competition and all this and that.
They are the controlled opposition, controlling the opposition, manipulating the chaos, and maybe people are just kind of getting turned off to the fact that a lot of the greats are getting ready to be gone, because we have a certain relief manager at my work who is a massive fucking wrestling fanatic. Like, I mean, I hate to say this, Burger, but he's 10 times worse than you, because this man, the other day, he was getting on the nerves of one of my coworkers, and this certain coworker was having fucking enough of his shit, and I knew that he was about to literally like take a big fat lip, throw it in there, and then spit the fucking juice in his face, and it was going to be on. So I like literally just say, hey, blank, can't say his name obviously, come over, like, hey, I need you to talk to me about something. He was like, what? And I was like, what's the most like memorable to you, impactful moment in wrestling? I was like, for me, for actually seeing it, it was during Goldberg's run. I was at the Y Comico. We talked about this, and it was just an amazing show. And I got him talking, dude. This man talked about wrestling for 35 straight minutes, nonstop. Was at WrestleMania in New Orleans. I've been here, been there. I was there when John Cena and The Rock faced off. I was there when AJ won his title, and he about cried. I mean, this man is a fucking wrestling fiend. And he has even said that it's not the same, but he's also looking forward to the future of the new talent. And he says that he thinks Triple H is eventually going to become the new Vince McMahon.
Oh, I definitely see that. I mean, he pretty much is the Vince McMahon right now. I mean, Vince McMahon still has a little bit of his hands on it, but not as much anymore. I mean, the man's 71, 72 years old. He's getting up there in age. And he's going to get to the point where he's going to be ready to retire, walk away from it, and say, you know what, Steph, Triple H, Shane, it's yours. You have it. Run it like I would run it. Do your best. That's
Here's
all
the
I
keys
ask.
to the Ferrari. Don't fucking scratch it.
Exactly.
But I was asking certain manager about the Hall of Fame for this year. He said it was good, but he said next year's Hall of Fame is going to be stupid good.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I told you about that.
Listen, they've already got the money set aside for next year's WrestleMania, next year's Hall of Fame, WrestleMania, Raw after WrestleMania, and SmackDown, and he's going this year. He's already got off this year for Hall of Fame, WrestleMania, Raw after WrestleMania, and SmackDown. All 3 shows. And he's got the same fucking seat for all 3 shows. And it's like 5... Listen, we are going to watch this shit. I'm going to point them out to you. I'll be like, look, there's blank, that fucking dildo. I mean, and listen, you are a fucking dildo. But you know what? I earned a little bit of respect for you this week, dildo. You weren't too bad. But I'm still going to call you dildo. And damn you if you think I'm not going to call you dildo, because you are a fucking dildo.
I mean, I can't... Man, that's just impressive. I mean, not only you have Hall of Fame, WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania, and the SmackDown after WrestleMania, that's like a fucking trifecta.
Would you not murder someone for that?
I'd give my left testicle for one of those.
Right?
One of those tickets. I'd go to the Hall of Fame and I'd be happy. I'd go to WrestleMania and be happy. I mean, of course, that's on my bucket list. WrestleMania and a Royal Rumble. And I might possibly go to Royal Rumble next year because they're going to be in Philadelphia.
And you're thinking about it.
And I'm really thinking about getting out with my cousin and trying to get tickets because I'd love to go to a big event like that.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, for all you people out there that don't know, the reason that the show after WrestleMania on Raw is so rowdy and crazy, it's because it's packed full of Brits and they're drunk. And you know how drunk Brits get. That's why the show's always entertaining. Remember that year when Fandango come out? It's Fandango. And they're all out there. Yeah,
I remember
that. Dude, they're fucking a bunch of smartasses. So, I mean, that's why that show's so great. Because here's a known fact. I didn't know this, but I was told this by the Wrestling Fiend manager from my work. That to go to a Raw in London over there costs just as much as to going to WrestleMania here.
That's crazy.
They say that it's actually worth it to fly over here, like a week-long booking,
You go to all 4 events.
and then go back because literally they will spend just about that much money on just a Raw alone. Like about literally half of that will be on Raw, just one Raw. It's expensive to go over there.
That's crazy.
Expensive, crazy.
So let's go ahead and move on to some college basketball talk because we have a lot to talk about in college basketball this week. Of course, we have the big games of the week, how we did on our picks, the new rankings, and our picks this week. But before we do all that, I want to get into some headlines. And the big headline of the week, and you agree with me on this, badass, Duke's head coach Mike Krzyzewski made his reluctant return to coaching after having back surgery and missing 7 games on Saturday against Pitt.
Hold on, so the bitch is back?
The bitch is back.
Oh, rat face fuck? Yeah, I ain't forgot about you, you little fucking asshole. Yeah, I gave you a break because you had surgery, but you know what? You're back now. The bitch is back. And your little bitch is still tripping people on the floor. You know what?
We'll get into that in a minute.
Ooh, I hate that motherfucker, dude.
I know. That's one thing that sets badass off. You say the words Duke, Mike Krzyzewski, or Grayson Allen, it just sets them off. But Coach K announced on January 2nd that he'd be stepping away from the game to get back surgery. Duke had a 4-3 record while he was gone, losing to top 10 Louisville and FSU and losing to unranked NC State. Duke beat Pitt 72-64 on Saturday, and what should have been a celebratory day for Duke basketball and Duke fans turned sour as Grayson Allen was at it again, tripping a Pitt player. Now, I watched the video, and for me watching the video, when the guy was driving into the lane to go up to the basket, he purposely stuck out his right leg and tripped the guy. I mean, it was obvious. He got a foul called against him. But, I mean, when is enough? I mean, really, come on.
Sooner or later, you're going to trip the wrong motherfucker, and he's going to get up off that hardwood, and he's going to knock you the fuck out. And when he does, I'll be the first son bitch sending him bail money. You're a little fucking punk, dude. You are. This tripping shit, obviously, since the fucking ACC front offices ain't going to do shit about it, and they're too fucking scared of fucking Coach K and Duke to do anything because, oh my God, it's Duke, we can't say. Shut you little pussies. You know what? When somebody gets up off that hardwood and fucking knocks that little bitch out on national television, I don't want to hear a motherfucking thing. Because let me tell you something. You're getting ready to play your rival. You go tripping them some bitches, I have a feeling they're going to be some pushing, shoving, and getting in your face. Because you know what? People are getting sick and tired of your bullshit ass because you're not even that good of a player. You're all right.
You want to hear something really crazy? I saw this today when I was looking on ESPN. I know I'm not supposed to be looking on ESPN anymore, but I had to do it. I looked on ESPN, and Roy Williams actually said that he feels Grayson Allen is getting a bad rap. That's right, North Carolina's Roy Williams said that Duke's player, Grayson Allen, is getting a bad rap.
I think Roy's gone soft.
Or senile, one or the other.
Yeah, I think something's going on there because that's your sworn enemy, and you're talking about he's getting a bad rap? Hell no, you should be pouring it on, calling him a little bitch, egging him on to do it to your players. Let me tell you something. Sooner or later, he's going to get ejected. Or he's going to get kicked off team, suspended. It's not, you cannot keep this shit up. But you know what? You might not have to worry about it here, Leah, because you might not even make the tournament. You keep sucking.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because, I mean, Duke right now, they're struggling. I think they've lost 5 games already this year.
I mean, they're going to make it on their name alone, but let me tell you something. You're going to get bounced quick.
You play one of them tough teams like Arizona or UCLA.
You're tripping one of them boys.
Oh, yeah. Them big boys are going to knock you the hell out.
You know what? You're going to catch an elbow right to your nose. There's going to be blood everywhere. And they're going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, and you know what's going to be? 2 chains. Watch out, little bitch. That's what they're going to be telling you. They're going to look at you, pow, right in the fucking face with elbow. Watch out, little bitch. And they're going to score.
So, of course, Grayson Allen was back at it again, tripping people. And, I mean, It looks like at this point, nothing's going to be done about it. Nobody's going to step up and say, okay, enough's enough. Let's stop letting him trick people, because somebody's going to eventually get hurt, seriously. Or somebody's going to get up and beat the living shit out of Grayson Allen, which I'm hoping the latter of the two happens, because I'm with you. Grayson Allen is a poor man, J.D. Redick. He wishes he could hold Christian Laettner's jockstrap.
Oh, he wishes he could. He's not even close.
And it's coming. And I'm telling you, we're going to report on it here. It's going to happen between now and the end of the season. Somebody's going to get tired of it, and somebody's going to throw a fist or a bow, or it's going to turn out into an all-out brawl. And it almost happened earlier at that last game, Wake Forest, where he started pushing the Wake Forest guy, and he got mad and jumped up in his face. And lucky enough, Duke players and coaches were there to break it up, but he was right there in the middle of Duke bench trying to go after Grayson Allen. I was like, oh, shit.
Somebody's got to. Believe me, I think next week I got something I want to add to the show.
What's that?
When you start giving out the award every week. You know what award I'm talking about?
No, what word's that, badass?
No balls.
Well, that'd be Grayson Allen every week.
No balls.
I mean, we'll just be giving it to Grayson Allen. Maybe we just make him like a lifetime
And the entire
winner.
ACC front office.
Yup.
No balls.
No balls.
No balls.
No Weibos.
Listen, maybe y'all should hire somebody that has the testicles to do the job that you won't do.
So, let's go ahead and move on to our next big story. And this one's actually kind of a weird story. This week, the Notre Dame versus North Carolina game that was supposed to be on Saturday at 1 o'clock was rescheduled to Sunday at 1 p.m. due to an emergency water crisis in Orange County, Chapel Hill, and the UNC campus. Apparently, a main water pipe broke on Thursday, forcing them to cancel class on Fridays and evacuating the campus. I mean, to me, that seems kind of weird. Like, a main would just happen to break on the day before you're supposed to play a big game against Notre Dame. You reschedule it for the next day, and you come out and you beat the crap out of them.
And you ran out of water?
And you ran out of water. Have you guys heard of something called bottled water? It comes in a 24-pack. I think it's about $4 on average.
You don't
$3 and
say.
$4. No.
No.
You just get a bunch of water and you sell it for $1.
Did it never occur to
$1.50,
them?
$2.
Did it never occur to them?
Apparently they have no brains. ACE office don't have no balls
And no brains.
and no brains.
Not gonna be good.
And Chapel Hill has basically no brains.
That's unfucking real, dude. I mean, seriously, like, y'all aren't in the fucking desert. What do you mean you're running out of water? Seriously, the fuck is this? What are you talking about? Like, how do you cancel a fucking game because you don't have water? I mean, have you ever heard of any shit like that before?
I've never heard anything like that happen.
I've heard of them canceling games because of too much water coming from the fucking sky.
Yeah, like I heard like monsoon weather. I actually remember last year that Notre Dame North Carolina State game during the hurricane.
Dude,
And they played.
Notre Dame's always playing a game in a hurricane.
Oh, they don't give a fuck.
No, they don't give a fuck. But seriously, people, like, you don't, like, what the fuck are they talking about? No water. I mean, what kind of shit is that? I mean, did your entire fucking water system break at once? I mean, I find that hard to believe. I mean, it could happen. I'm not going to say it can't.
I mean, if a main line broke, I mean, I do understand that, but in the same sense, again, buy like 20, 30 bottle, big packages of 24 water. So you buy, let's say you buy 20 at 24. So that's what, almost 500?
I mean, who even cares about the money? It's fucking North Carolina. Y'all motherfuckers can afford it. Look, you could go into the Walmart right down the street in your fucking city and you could clear them out of all the bottled water. It wouldn't even dent your fucking bank account at all. Y'all spend more money on getting hookers for them motherfuckers when you're trying to recruit them. Don't play me. Fucking goddamn, don't play me, man.
But man, I just like, to me, that's just ridiculous. I mean, really, you and the funny thing is they scheduled the game 24 hours later. So, I mean,
They miraculously fixed their drought.
yeah, somehow they miraculously fixed the drought, fixed the pipe in 24 hours, and boom, guess what? Now they can play a game at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, I feel like there may be some fuckery afoot.
Some
You
shenanigans.
know what? They had to do it to Notre Dame because God forbid they'd done it with Duke come to town. All you'd hear about is, you fucking assholes did it on purpose because you're a bunch of pussies. fuck you, motherfucker. I mean, let me tell you, they hate each other. That you should listen to the fucking Charlotte radio. That area, the Charlotte area radio, they got a thing called the Diamonds Direct Whiner Line. Holy shit, dude. They have to bleep them people, especially after the night after the North Carolina Duke game. Holy fuck, you should hear the calls that come in. It's just nonstop. Boop, 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 boop. Just people with fuck you, man, fuck this shit, and fuck you. It's just beep, beep, beep. I mean, nonstop redneckery. I mean, just wow.
We actually might have to pull that clip up because North Carolina's playing Duke on Thursday. We might actually have to pull up a haters hotline.
All we gotta do is look up Packers. I think it's Mark Packer or Mike Packer. His name's Packer or whatever. He's got a show. Used to be on in this area when it was 104.9, not 105.5 The Roar, but they've been long since got rid of that show. But man, you talking about some heated ass shit. Like the fucking Whiner line that we have here does not compare. Our shit's like ultra light. That shit's ice beer.
So as Germ would say, our buddy J-Dubs, their shit's super weak compared to the hater hotline.
Shit's weak.
Shit's weak.
Weak.
Yeah, boy.
There you go, Dubs. You got you a shout out.
There you go.